Okay, we'll start back with the 27th in our posting. We have a debit to cash on the 27th from journal page 18. I keep saying journal page 18. Notice the page number here at the top if you haven't already. So we have a debit to cash on the 27th for $2,500. That's journal page 18. So we'll find our cash account. This is the 27th, journal page 18. And it's a debit to cash for $2,500. Okay, we have a debit balance for cash and now a debit entry. So we're going to add those two together. Makes our new debit balance $27,850. Cash is account number 11. So we come up in the posting reference column of the journal and put in 11. That's the account number the debit for $2,500 was posted to. Okay, then we have a credit to salary and commission expense for the same amount, $2,500, also on the 27th from journal page 18. So we'll find salary and commission expense. On the 27th from journal page 18, we have a credit for $2,500. Okay, we have a beginning debit balance and a credit entry. So we're going to subtract. Makes our new balance $145,700. That was posted to account number 51. So we come back and put 51 in the posting reference column of the journal. Then on the 28th, we have a debit to automobile expense for $1,500. Okay, so on the 28th, the debit to automobile expense for $1,500. Again, that's journal page 18. So we come down and find automobile expense. Here we go. That one took place on the 28th. It was entered on journal page 18, and that's a debit for $1,500. We had a beginning debit balance and a debit entry. When we add those two together, our new debit balance is $7,000. Okay, the account number we posted to for automobile expense was 54. So we'll come back up to the journal. And alongside automobile expense in the journal, we'll put in the account number 54. Okay, next we have a credit to cash on the 28th for $1,500. That's from journal page 18. And that's a credit to cash on the 28th for $1,500. Okay, so we have a debit balance in the cash account, $27,850. Credit entry, so we're going to subtract. Leaves us with a new debit balance of $26,370. Or excuse me, $26,350. That's the cash account, account number 11. So we'll come back up, put 11 in the posting reference column of the journal. Then we have a debit to miscellaneous expense on the 29th for $1,400. So on the 29th, from journal page 18. And you guys, this one just happened to be journal page 18. Of course, it would not always be 18. You'd have to look and see what the journal page number was on the problem that you're working. We had a debit to miscellaneous expense on the 29th for $1,400. Debit balance and a debit entry. So we're going to add those two together. And that makes our new debit balance $5,300. Miscellaneous expense is account number 59. So we'll put that back in the posting reference column of the journal. Then we have a credit to cash for $1,400. Which is also on the 29th. On journal page 18. So we got a debit balance and a credit entry, so we'll subtract again. That leaves us with $24,950 debit balance. Again, cash is account number 11. I'm sure you've committed that to memory by now. So we'll come back up, and alongside cash in the journal, in the post and reference column, we'll put in the account number from the ledger, 11. Then we have a debit to accounts receivable on the 30th for $57,000. On journal page 18, a debit on the 30th for $57,000. Okay, now we got a debit balance and a debit entry, so we're going to add those two together. They're both debits. Makes our new debit balance $66,200. That's account number 12. So we'll enter that in the posting reference column of the journal alongside accounts receivable. We have a credit to fees earned for $57,000 on the 30th. From journal page 18, a credit to fees earned for $57,000. Okay, we got a credit balance and a credit entry. So we're going to add those two together. Makes our new credit balance $297,000. Fees earned is account number 41. So we'll come back in the posting reference column of the journal and put in 41, the account number it was posted to in the ledger. Okay, salary and commission expense debited on the 30th for $11,900. On journal page 18, that debit was $11,900. Have a beginning debit balance and a debit entry, so we're going to add those two together. Remember, if they're two debits, you'd add. Two credits you'd add. If they're different, we'll subtract. And that makes the new debit balance for salary and commission expense $157,600. It's account number 51, which we'll put back in the posting reference column of the journal alongside salary and commission expense. That's the account number of the account it was posted to in the ledger. A credit to cash for $11,900, also on the 30th. From journal page 18. So we got a beginning debit balance and a credit entry, so we're going to subtract. And that leaves us with a debit balance of $13,050. That was posted to cash, which is account number 11. So we'll come back in the posting reference column of the journal, put in 11 alongside cash. Okay, then we have a debit to the dividends account on the 30th for $4,000. From journal page 18. It's a debit for $4,000. Debit balance and a debit entry, we'll add those two together, makes our new debit balance $6,000. It's account number 33. So alongside dividends in the posting reference column of the journal, we'll enter 33, which is the account number in the ledger of the account that it was posted to, dividends. We have a credit to cash on the 30th for $4,000. From journal page 18. It's a credit to cash for $4,000. Debit balance and a credit entry, so we're going to subtract. It's $13,050 minus our $4,000 credit entry gets us to a cash balance of $9,050. Cash is account number 11, so that's what we'll enter in the posting reference column of the journal. Then we've got a debit to cash on the 30th for $10,000. Again from journal page 18, nothing special about that number, it's just this journal page happened to be 18. We got a debit here for $10,000. Debit balance and a debit entry, so we're going to add those two together, makes our new debit balance $19,050. And that's account number 11. Then, to finish up the posting part of the problem, we've got a credit to unearned rent for $10,000 on the 30th. So we'll put in April 30th. That's from journal page 18. We've got a credit to unearned rent for $10,000, which makes our credit balance $10,000. And that's account number 22. This one's easy to forget. It's easy to get to this point and forget to go back and put that 22 in. Don't do that. Let's go back to the journal. We'll put in 22, the account number from the ledger that it was posted to. Alright, you guys, you've now I actually completed step 1 for you, setting up the ledger accounts. I'll have that one completed for you on the homework problem as well, but it would probably be in your best interest to go through the unadjusted trial balance on your homework problem and check those numbers to make sure I entered them correctly. You always want to check your information before you get started to make sure it's matching. So those beginning balances in the ledger accounts should be the same as the balances on your unadjusted trial balance when you start the problem. And then we've gone through steps 2 and 3. We journalized all the entries for April in the journal. Then we posted all of those entries to the ledger, which updated our ledger account balances. So for instance, balance for cash at the end of March 2016 was $26,300. But now at the end of April 2016, it's $19,050. We'll have a new balance in almost all of our accounts. And we'll prepare the unadjusted trial balance from the ledger as of April 30th, 2016. We'll do that in the next video. Okay, thanks.